One of the problems with recruiting for investment banking is not the knowledge or skills you acquire, but the access to talk with real investment bankers to put your best foot forward. Our sponsor, WSO Academy, can provide those connections with 60 head mentors who are finance professionals at top firms like Goldman, Centerview, and JP Morgan. Imagine being able to get on the phone within 24 hours with one of the Academy's 1,300 mentors right before a critical interview. Get on the waitlist for WSO Academy today by clicking the link in the show notes or by visiting wallstreetoasis.com/academy. All right. Welcome to Investment Banking Insights, the podcast dedicated to helping you learn both the technical and non-technical aspects of the investment banking process. My name is Alex Mason, and I am your host. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're talking about mergers and acquisitions. Yes, two companies coming together, the bread and butter of many an investment banker's job. And today's question is this: why do most mergers and acquisitions fail? Why do they fail? And you know what? A lot of M&A transactions do end up being successful for the companies that do them in various ways, but many of them also are unsuccessful. So why do the ones that are unsuccessful not succeed? This is a very valid question. Mergers and acquisitions, they're often done with good intentions, right? But sometimes they just don't work. Take the example I gave 2 episodes ago in episode 127, where I talked about tobacco giant Altria buying vaping company Juul. Now, they had to write down a significant portion of their investments. And that acquisition failed primarily for regulatory reasons that got in the way of this fast-growing Juul business. And also the culture towards smoking and vaping in the US is just frowned upon in many circles. So that led to the regulatory issues, in my opinion. But that's just one type of failure, right? There's many ways that M&A combinations don't succeed. For example, here's a couple of other reasons. One of the big reasons is that the cultures between the two companies just don't fit. For example, if one business has an all remote policy for their workers, where everyone's working remote, whereas the other business has a culture where they want everyone to work in the office with each other, and then those businesses come together and people have to work together, there might be issues with that, as you can imagine. So that's just an example of a potential cultural clash between two firms. It goes beyond this. What is the definition of culture? Well, culture is how people are with each other. How do people behave in a group? That's really what culture is. And this applies to many contexts, but definitely to the work context and to a business context. So what kind of hiring practices do people have? What is the hierarchy in the organization? If cultures don't fit, that can be a huge roadblock in terms of a company's growth after it's been acquired or after a merger. And so this is a common one. And then also, it's just generally really hard to integrate two businesses from an operational perspective. Here are some questions that a management team might consider once the combination has occurred. Should they use existing suppliers on both sides of the company, or should they consolidate? Do they need to reorganize the business divisions in the management structure? Or what about the distribution of the product channels or the geographic footprint of how their labor is spread? These are just a few considerations, but you can see they're all very important. It's not just about culture, and it's not just about regulatory issues. Just general operational issues can get in the way of success. So those are some reasons why mergers and acquisitions can fail. It's just really hard to bring two businesses together sometimes. Now, sometimes the fit is really great, but sometimes it's not. And so those are some reasons why it might fail with an M&A transaction. Okay, that's what I got for you today on Investment Banking Insights. My name is Alex Mason, and I am your host. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time where we continue to talk about mergers and acquisitions. Take care.